Hello, thank you for coming back to my kitchen. You are very welcome as always. Today I'm going to be making a healthy chocolate chip cookies. This is not my recipe. I need to make that from the outset. It is not my recipe. I got this recipe from ZOE Science and Nutrition podcast. I watched this and it's all about gut health and healthy foods, really. Very interesting. And I wrote a comment to say, this is all very interesting and it's very easy to eat healthy for meals, for lunches, for breakfast, lunch and dinners. But in the afternoon, I think it was back in January too, so it was freezing cold. You need, in the afternoon, you want a piece of cake with a cup of tea or a chocolate chip cookie or something nice, something sweet with a cup of coffee or something. You need something in the afternoon. So I wrote this comment and they sent me this recipe back, or they sent a link to it or something. I can't remember how I found it. Anyway, they sent this recipe. So this recipe is from ZOE Science and Nutrition. It is not mine, and I've kept the recipe exactly as they sent me. I have not changed it in any way. Okay, so it's all nuts and ground almonds and things, everything in it. Tiny bit of sugar, that's the only thing that's not good for you, is a tiny bit of sugar. Chocolate chips, not chocolate chips. We've got dark chocolate. I've got 70% chocolate. They say more is healthier, so 80 or 90. If you can go that much, my taste buds can't. Yes, all things are very healthy in these biscuits, so let's get on with it. So first of all, I have lined a baking tray with greaseproof or parchment paper, and we'll just set that aside for later. And then I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of flax seeds. Now their flax seeds were black. These are golden flax seeds. I got them from Tesco's. I hope you can see those. They're the only ones I could find, so this is them. You can, and you need to mill it, you need to grind it. I'm going to grind it in this. You can buy it milled. I've looked, I've checked. But this is all I could get, so I've got golden flax seeds, but theirs were black. So 2 tablespoons. And although I'm putting 2 tablespoons of these seeds in, it makes more when it's milled. But yeah, that doesn't matter. I'll put that in my smoothie in the morning. Doing is pulsing this. I'm sure if you haven't got one of these little grinder things, you could do it in a blender. Yeah, let's have a look to see if they're done. Yeah, they seem fine to me. So, as I said, it makes more than the 2 tablespoons that's required for the recipe. So I'm just going to measure the 2 tablespoons out again. Now it's been milled. There's 1. 2. And I'll use this for my smoothie in the morning. So to these milled flax seeds, we want to add 2 tablespoons of water. Sorry, I made a mistake here. That was 4 tablespoons of water into the flax seeds. Let's carry on. Let's give that a mix up. And we'll set that aside for the moment. Now before we do anything else, our oven needs to go on. They gave me 180 in the, that's Celsius, in the recipe. No specification as to whether that was an old electric oven or the fan electric ovens. So I have made these before, and I put my oven, which is a fan oven, on 180 degrees Celsius, so adjust yours accordingly. To my bowl, I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of soft brown sugar. They specified brown sugar, but this is the sugar, soft brown sugar is the sugar I normally use for cookies, and 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Normally you don't use, this is extra virgin olive oil. Normally you don't use this olive oil in cooking because it gives, in baking rather, because it gives a strong flavour, but it's absolutely fine in these cookies. So just give that a mix up. And to this we need to add our flaxseed that's been in the water. And give that a mix. To this we want to add 200 grams of ground almonds and a pinch of salt. And just mix that all together. I'm just going to scrape my spoon off to make sure everything is combined. There, perfect. So now we want to set this aside, and we need to get our chocolate and our pecans. So this is 50 grams of pecans, and I have toasted them this morning. So I put them in the oven on 150 for about 9 minutes. There's not many, and they're nice and toasted, but they're cool now. And we just need to chop those roughly. As you can see, this is a very, very easy recipe. Once you've chopped them roughly, just go through to make sure there's no bits that are too big. Maybe this one could be chopped in half, and this one too. There, just give those another once over and we're done. And they get tipped in the bowl. And then we just do the same with the chocolate. And again with the chocolate, as with the pecans, just go through making sure none of your bits are too big. Yeah, I think they're okay. And they just go into the bowl too. And mix those all in together. Now here the pecans were mixing, but for some reason the chocolate doesn't mix in well. But when we form this into balls to put on the baking tray, we can push the chocolate in, it will be fine. I think it's because there's no syrup or anything in there, but just make sure it's mixed as much as you can. At this point, we want to get our baking sheet back, and we're just making small balls of the mixture. It does say the recipe makes 12. Last time I made 11. But I do tend to go a bit big with my chocolate chip cookies, and you really don't need to make these chocolate chip cookies big because of all the nuts. They're very, very filling, and I found a lot of the time I only needed one, so that's good. So I'll roll my sleeves up and let's get on with making balls. So just make them a little bit smaller than you would do an ordinary cookie, and just put the balls on the baking tray. They don't have to be too spread out. They do not spread much. They did have a tip within the recipe that if the balls weren't coming together, you could use water on your hands, But I found last time I made these, the balls came together, and this time I'm making them, they've come together. The one thing I do find is that you see me picking up pieces of chocolate, because the chocolate doesn't mix into the mixture so well. I am adding little pieces of chocolate and kind of pushing them in the balls. There, I'll bring you down so you can see more. We're just taking a handful of mixture and pushing it all together. See, the chocolate falls out, just pick that bit up, push it back, push it together, form a ball. So I've managed to fit 10 balls on my tray. So there'll be, it looks as though there's 2 or 3, so maybe I overcompensated and made them a little smaller this time. So all we want to do now is flatten the biscuits or cookies out to near enough where we want them. They will spread very slightly, but not very much. Anything falls off like the side, like that little piece did, just push it back in. There, they look good to me. So in my bowl, I don't know if you're picking this up on camera, there's lots of little chocolate pieces that wouldn't fit in the, let's see if you can see those chocolate pieces in there that wouldn't fit in the cookies. I couldn't get to go in, so I just pick pieces up and just pop them on the top. So these pieces get used up. There's 1 or 2 for each cookie, depending on what's in there, what you can see on the top already. There. So they will now go into the oven for about 10 minutes. They're 10 minutes up. I think they're done. Just take a look at these. Don't they look delicious? So we can put them straight on the cooling rack. So we'll just make balls of what's left and put them on the baking tray and put those in. Remember to push them down. I'm just going to get a couple of little bits of the chocolate and pop on the top. If any bits fall off like that bit did, just squish it up again. There's nothing to worry about here. There. So my last 2 are going in the oven. So this recipe today made 12 cookies. Time for tea. Let's try one of these delicious biscuits. Here you are. Hopefully you can see that well. Woohoo! It's a bit of a nut that's just come off. I hope you can hear the crunch, because the toasted pecans in them are delicious. I was about to say that they're not as nice as an ordinary chocolate chip cookie, but I'm going to take that back because they are delicious. They're not the same, they are different to a chocolate chip cookie. The other chocolate chip cookies I've made, the majority of them have syrup and that in. I'm wondering why Zoe went for brown sugar and not just golden syrup. Is brown sugar healthier? I don't know, I'd like to have them in front of me and ask them. So the pecans are healthy, the dark chocolate's healthy, the almonds are healthy. What else did we put in there? The olive oil is healthy. So these are very healthy biscuits. They're an alternative if you're looking for something that is healthy, which is what I was doing, because you know I like my biscuits. And you know I like my cakes, otherwise I wouldn't be on here talking to you all the time, making cakes and biscuits. But I don't know if you've noticed, but the majority of my dinners are healthy. I'm a vegetarian and the majority of my dinners are a healthy dinner. The fact that they are, it's dark chocolate in there, does make them kind of less moreish in a way. So you're not going to eat as much. You know how you don't eat as much dark chocolate, you'd eat a whole bar of milk chocolate, but you wouldn't eat a whole bar of dark chocolate because you'd be feeling sick. Same with the biscuits. So it stops you eating too many. They are filling because of the nuts. Yeah, they're really nice, really nice. So thank you for stopping by my channel again. I hope you've liked what I've been cooking for you today. Do go over and see me on Instagram. It's Sheila's Kitchen with a kiss, or Sheila's Kitchen with an X. And you will find me over there. I always post a photo of what video's coming out before it comes up. So yes, go over and see me there. If you've liked this video today, please give me the thumbs up, and I shall see you again next time.